Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the AMC podcast. Here, I am your host, Super, and here with us we have Blaze Warfare.
Afternoon.
How you doing, Blaze?
Doing pretty good.
So I'm just gonna get right into this, Blaze. Why did you join AMC of all servers? Because a lot of people are wondering, because there's so many servers out there, why AMC out of all of them?
A friend introduced me to the server, and I saw it was pretty unique, and I just got hooked on it when I started.
Really? Was it the sort of lawlessness that attracted you, or was it because of the lack of the lack of laws? Like what drawn you, if I'm using that word correctly? What brought you to the AMC and made you so addicted to it that it's like your life to a lot of people?
Well, relatively, I think it had to do with just how the plugins were set up, how the server handled its illegals, where like you could keep them, you could view them, but you couldn't like use them, and just like all those different things definitely played a factor in it.
When did you join? Was there a certain date?
I joined a little bit after the griefing of Widsith.
Was it the original Widsith, or was it the Widsith that griefed by Cobble Love?
The one that was griefed by Cobble was the original Widsith.
Really?
There was only one Widsith. There was the Widsith base that got griefed by Cobble, and then there was Widsith Town, which is still active to this day.
How many people are in that base?
Me, you, Momana, and Varuna.
So, what was the first Anarchy server you've ever played? This is a question. I'll be saying a few questions done. I'll be asking you a few questions asked by Why Good Boy. So, first one. What was the first Anarchy server you ever played?
It was 2b2t.org, and I joined July. Wait, no, not July. It was May 31st, 2016.
Ah, so it was a couple of years ago.
Yep.
What was the first group you joined? Was it the Rushers, the Vets, or who was it?
I think if I remember, like, I started out with the Vortex Coalition. I didn't see it going anywhere, so I resigned from the group and just kind of did my own thing for a few months.
I'm gonna take a break from the asked questions of the public, and I'll go to some of the personal things. What was your highest and lowest point in AMC? Like, what was your experience with the server and the amazing world of Anarchy?
Well, when I first joined, I just kind of got lucky, because back then Morbid had ops. He just kind of gave me free shit, gave me a few far out teleports. So I just made bases, and it was pretty fun. Like, one of my lowest points, though, was when his base got griefed, and he went on a shit spree, and he nuked all my bases and kind of left me with nothing.
Yeah, that was a dark point in AMC.
Yeah, and this isn't usually talked about, but at one point I did, actually, I'm trying to think how I should discuss the whole how I had access to Troll's illegal bases, how I had op for a day in GMC and all that. I think I'll leave that out, because I don't think anybody's really interested in that.
I'm gonna stray away from that stuff and ask you, what do you think your biggest achievement on server was?
To getting Troll's illegal world-edited base nuked and having op for like an hour, because that was actually pretty chill. And don't worry, everybody, I did not do /seed, so your bases are still safe.
Funny enough, there was only a couple bases at the time that was not griefed, and I'm happy enough to say that mine was one of them. And it was to our viewers who are listening, it was a real dark point in AMC. I'm sure most of you have remembered at the server
and
nearly
it
shut down.
And it was followed with a little more admin abuse in the form of Don Fear getting a base pasted in from 2B. Dupe stashes were pasted in. People were given far out TPs. A bunch of stuff happened that obviously was never discussed. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
a.
actually, that answer it gives a great transition to my next question. What is your deal with Dawn? Like, when did you join? What do you think of them? And do you think you'll stay?
I joined Don, I think, if I remember correctly, back in 2017. I was a part of a group on Tubi called Kingsman. Don Fear later griefed. The Kingsman leader was using my dupe stash as a bragging right to call his base, so Don blew my stash up. And when they found out that he had lied and just caused my base to get unnecessarily griefed, they apologized and they invited me into Dawn, and that's kind of like how I joined the
Well,
group.
I guess in a lot of things there's a silver lining, whether it be grief bases or joint friendships, you know?
Yep.
So do you think that you'll stick with Dawn? This has been a question by Wygood. So yeah, do you think you'll stick with Dawn, or do you think eventually you'll part off from it?
I think I'll stay with their group just because I don't. Because, I've made connections and ties with people that are in Dawn, so I don't see a reason why I should leave it. Because, like, for all I know, down the line, I might get leadership of the group. I don't even know what could happen. I mean, anything's bound to happen.
I mean, to the looks of it, Deloaded might give his throne away to Wygood. And again,
That's what everybody's assumption is.
Yeah, and again, Wygood has another question, asking, do you think you will ever get kicked from Dawn again? Now, I know this is a sort of jab at you, as you have been kicked from it before, but do you think it's a sort of insight in your, maybe foreshadowing your future with Dawn?
I think it could happen. Even if it does happen, I'll still be friends with them, even if they do want to kill me on sight and stuff like that. But, I mean, if D ever passes the torch on, I know I would probably be re-invited back into the group by Wygood, because me and Wygood are really close. So, like, I think I have that standing for me.
That's very nice. Just a personal question: what happened to Uplift? Because he was the reason I first joined Dawn. But just a burning question in my head.
Well, I can't really, because of like I promised him I wouldn't speak about it because he's away on like I guess you could call it an extended vacation. I guess that's one way I can work it. He'd rather keep why he's been away confidential, and I'm going to respect that opinion as his friend.
Yeah, you have complete and utter freedom to leave out any details.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm going to just, like, not discuss that topic.
Going to different teams and different rivals, do you think this temp map has opened up, opportunities for your rival groups to create bonds? I know that Void and Dawn have been sort of working together towards the end of the temp map, and do you think it's helped their relationship?
And Don Fear obviously wants, with the chance that the Koppelreich decides to make its return, it'll definitely work better out if Don Fear and Void form an alliance, because that's like 40 odd members against a group of 20. Like,
yeah, well, 25 allegedly.
There's no way the Koppelreich could survive something like that.
Anyway, to our viewers, if you want to hear more about the Koppelreich and its plans and their leader, Koppellove, there's a link in the description to check out the interview I had with their leader, Koppellove. Anyway, so, going to another transition, I got asked, what is your opinion on Koppel?
Dude's a nice guy.
Really?
I would trust him as an IRL friend, but I
really? How so? Because he's on the record saying that he is an incredibly manipulative and overall cuntery kind of person, and he says himself that he's not to be trusted.
Here's the thing: you can judge him like that in the game, but unless you know him in real life, you can't really pass judgment on him properly. You can pass judgment on what he's done on a block game. That's about it.
Yeah. But do you think he is well enough to create an ally, or do you think their team with allegedly 25 members need to be destroyed?
They need to go.
Because ever
That's
since
the
that
best
interview
way I
came
can
out,
put it.
with him saying that he has sleeper agents in different groups and in all those fun stuff, people have been on edges about him.
I mean, for all we know, you're a sleeper agent and Void. I mean, anything could happen, dude.
I know anything could happen, but he's on record for being a pathological liar, and I know for a fact that I'm not.
Are you sure that the correct term is that he's not a megalomaniac, desiring complete power?
Whatever. Anyway, I must have used the term incorrectly. Anyway, so, going to the groups, do you have any that you truly hate? I know that Imperium and you have been on high heat ever since you've talked to them. So what's the deal?
I mean, I was making false comments about their group, and they decided to raid the voice chat and say, "Oh, we have your docs. You better not fuck with us." I mean, they've done their fair share of shit talking, but I mean, we have a common threat in the form of Jared 2013. So I mean, I feel like I can put my differences with them behind me if it means bringing him off his pedestal.
Before I go into Jared 13, I have a couple more questions. Some community, some not. You said that they have your docs. Is it because you think that Dawn gave them your docs, or is it because you made some poor choices and they got your docs out of your spite?
I think it would have been the latter of the two, because I used to say some very stupid stuff on Anarchy. I've had breakdowns on 2B before where I've just like started saying like all this private shit, but I mean, that was a good 2 years ago, back when like I first joined. I feel like I'm quite more stable is the way I guess to put it. So like I don't think stuff like that would occur anymore.
Do you, just out of curiosity, do you feel like Jared has a team of people who could truly destroy a person? Or do you feel like he's just calling a bunch of bluffs?
I think like it's literally just him and Falls Green trying to intimidate people by ordering pizzas to their house, which actually happened to Fee. They actually originally tried to get me to make the phone call to order the pizza, but I declined because I was not going to get involved in that.
Do you think Dawn and Void, this is another question by Wygood, he had a lot of questions, thank you Wygood, shout out. Do you think that Void and Dawn will become good friends? I know that they've had a sort of war caused by certain beefs in the group. Do you think that Dawn and Void will become good friends?
The only reason the war initially started was because Element was getting pissed off and he wanted action. Element had never instigated a confrontation. We could still be complete allies, but maybe those differences will get settled eventually. But I just feel like he played a major part in why there had to be fighting. Yes, I know that he'll probably yell at me later for that, but I mean, I just gotta speak my opinion, man.
That's what this whole show is about, man. Opening up and giving the community what the truth is. Anyway, so, or at least what you say is the truth is. So basically, that's that. And I got a question for the future. What is your plan for AMC? What's your next achievement or process or project that you're going to be working on?
Well, my next project is once I get an estimate of when AMC is going to update to 1.13, I plan to water cube spawn in preparation for that, because I am going to fine tune it so that I don't lag the server while doing it. Because honestly, I'd love to see some crazy underwater fighting with Tridents at spawn.
Oh, that's...
But I'm also in the process of working on a mega base that until now was kept under wraps, even from Void and Dawn. So you heard it here first, folks. This is a base I've been working on since the day I joined.
Really? And it hasn't gotten griefed by Morbid or Troll?
Nope, because I've been doing it on undisclosed alt accounts.
Oh, that's smart, that's smart. Um, Going back to the teams and Don Fior just for a second, how do you feel about Deloaded's video on AMC? I know it was a while back, but what's your whole take on him? What do you think about him, and do you think he's gonna, play a big role in Don Fior? As I know that he's finishing up college, and he's gonna try to go on with his life and probably give the throne of Don Fior down to Wygood. But do you think he's gonna have anything more to do with AMC?
Honestly, after he got his base spawned in, and then it got cucked because he made a comment that, well, broke the agreement that was made with the server owners. I don't think he'll ever really come back. I mean, he was making great viewership from it. If I was him, I would have stayed at least for the views, because he was making good clicks from it. Compared to his normal content, he was making like 100 views per stream. So I feel like he's missing out on a great opportunity, but ultimately it's his decision. Like, I can't force him to do something he doesn't want to do.
Do you think that Deloaded is sort of being a hypocrite at the moment when he said in his video on his channel, I won't link him in the description, I'm sorry, that how AMC has been abusing for a long time, and he's very mad about it, yet he had a base spawned in.
Yeah, so I feel like he wanted to I can't really word it that way, but I feel like he knew that either way, if something were to go bad with the base, or like anything, he could use it for content either way. I can't really think of a way to paint it in a positive light. That's why I'm trying to think of how I could paint it that way.
Yeah, but it's not a really positive thing, is it?
No, I could see, like, yeah, he said one thing, but like it also contemplated another thing. So like, yeah.
Speaking of admin abuse, do you feel like Morbid should have been banned off the server? Do you think he should have been banned off the server for what he did, or do you think he should have just been told off? Yes, Morbid Rain, about his abuse.
The guy had justification. He lost his base, he got pissed off, he blew people's base stuff. It's anarchy, so when you think about it, since he had all the right to be able to do that. And to ban someone from an anarchy server is to call it not really anarchy, because you're censoring it. So, honestly, at this point, he doesn't deserve the ban, because, he did something that you would do in anarchy, which is, like, grief shit. People on 2B had backdoors, and they griefed bases, and were they banned? Nope.
But going back to that, there's a sort of hole in that logic of being anarchy, because I don't think Anarchy MC really is true anarchy, since there has been instances of people getting properly banned, getting their accounts banned after making a lag machine, and all that is really sick and twisted, and 69er and coders just saying, hey, we will not tolerate this racketeering and this barbarism, as we will ban anybody and everybody who deliberately makes the playing experience lesser for anybody else. So they have banned people in the past. So do you think it's sort of favoritism how they haven't banned Morbid Rain?
I would think partially, yeah, because he's probably a good friend to them. Like, if I was really close with him and I fucked up bases and like, I can't see them banning me, and even though a lot of people want it, it just wouldn't be the right thing to do. It would, honestly, in my opinion, would cause it more backlash on its own than anything.
So you think that because Morbid Rain has helped the owners in certain places, do you think that he's given a free pass?
I guess so, yeah. Or at least a partial freebie. Like, I'm sure if he did something like that ever again, he would get in shit, but...
Thinking about bad things in general, doxing. Do you feel like you're stuck in a place? Now, you voiced your likings for Dawn and the way it's heading right now, as it's making more friends than enemies and all that fun stuff. But do you think that you're stuck in a place with Dawn where you can't leave because you're scared of your docs being left out? Because you have openly given your address to Why Good Boy and I believe Deloaded.
Yeah, I mean, I worry that it could go out, but I don't let that like stop me from leaving groups. Like if somebody's like, you can't leave or I'll leak your docs. I'll just be like, fuck off. You do that, then I'll just like know it was you that did it, and any
You'll
actions that happen towards me would
you'll just pull a Tyler Coolman and make a police report. I'm joking.
not that like if their docs ever were to become public, probably would seek legal action. That's
Oh wow.
the safest way I can put it.
Hmm.
Because what they're committing is a cybercrime, and
I mean, yeah, using personal information with a malicious intent, but when you have given out that that information out of spite or just out of just curiosity kills the cat. If you give your stuff out publicly, then you can't really press charges because you have given it out to people.
well, I mean, I can press charges if they use it with malicious intent anyway.
Hmm. But I could see where you're coming from. So out of that whole thing about Don going into Jared and his doxing, he's been apparently known to be doxing people and some other things. What's your take on Jared and what kind of a guy do you think he is?
He's probably a nice guy IRL who just acts like a complete ass online, which, I mean, he can do that if he wants, but, like, the guy manipulates the situation. He uses people, and he's not afraid to call in a police report on somebody if he gets his way.
Really?
I've have screenshots of him saying that he had suggested that I call in a fake police report on Fee's address saying that I was holding my family hostage to get Fee swatted.
Really?
And I declined to do that because I knew the legal problems that would happen if I did go through with that.
Are you ready to give those screenshots out? Are you going to be giving them to the podcast as sort of evidence?
Yeah, I'm down to give them out. I mean, most of it's already public. I have confirmation from Falls Green that him and Jared both doxed Fee, and I have screenshots of Jared saying what area Fee lives in.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like his address and personal information will be blurred in their screenshots. But
obviously, for personal reasons.
Yeah, but I mean, all the stuff's there.
So if you're gonna want to make note of that and then send the screenshots after this recording's done, we can definitely make that into the actual podcast cut. So, going out of the sort of dark area of doxing and all that stupid shenanigans, what do you think you're most known for on AMC? What do you think is your best achievement you've done?
Well, getting, I guess, Troll's big guy's bases griefed.
Don't you have a story about being TP'd there by a certain someone? Not Troll?
Yeah, so so it started with Sick and Twisted giving me a TP to a base that Troll had that was in Obsidian spheres that were obviously world edited in. And he's like, if Troll stays off the AMC for so many days, I'll TP you into his Mega Abuse base, which I got a TP into there. And Troll obviously had all these illegal items, and I was messing around with donkey eggs and illegal potions. And Random Coder Z had programmed a plugin that would let the owners know the coordinates of players handling illegal items. So what ended up happening was Morbid TP'd to me and 16 did too, and they allowed me to go with them to a Troll's backdoor end base, which held all his illegal items, and they allowed me to help blow it up, basically.
Oh wow, that's quite a story. Do you have any more sort of take on that sort of?
Well, I mean, I stole items from it. The world edited spheres, they had negative 32k items, which basically, when combined, would turn into infinite durability pickaxes and stuff like that. Multiple different forms of backdoored armor, custom stacked armor kits. There was also a zombie pigment spawner in them. Um,
Oh wow.
Element 83 helped me like steal most of that, and then we just blew it up and made it look like the owners were edited it
Oh,
out.
hold on. So you and Element both blew it up?
I was there originally. Like, Element got the TP from me, like everybody else. But like, I was the one that went there first, so like, I have the main credit. But yeah, Element did help me.
Hmm. Wow, that's quite the story.
There's more to it, but I mean, we
If you
gotta
want to
have.
disclose anything and everything, you can. You know, it's a safe space.
I mean, okay, so the whole I was going to keep the whole having op and creative thing under the wraps because what ended up happening was Sick had gotten on. He was like, "I'll let you like, I'll give you like a dupe stash," and I'm like, "Well, I wanted to do my own custom kit," so the guy gave me op for a sec to do that. And he de-opped me and he said, "I'll leave you in creative mode for the day. Just don't do anything stupid." So for like a solid day and a half, I used creative mode to spawn in, I think, almost a 500 dub dupe stash in the end, which Morbid later somehow found chords to, and he blew that up. But that was like for Don, and that was in Deloaded's video that I had created for that. And that was quite entertaining. I mean, my wrist for the next week hurt because I was pick clicking over 500 chests, and when you're doing that, it's kind of painful.
Yeah, I remember you were in the call when you were doing that, and your arm got really tired, and you were like, "Oh, I need to get some fucking Advil for this."
Yep. That did happen. I mean,
Do you feel like
even though, I mean, shout out to Sick though. He's a good owner. I mean, he had good intent. But on the topic, so I was never gonna go public about having op and creative. What ended up happening was Sick was gonna shut down AMC before the poll happened to keep it up. And I was posting screenshots of when we griefed Turtle's base, and I accidentally posted the one where I was at his base in creative, placing TNT. And people are like, "Wait, you're in creative," and I'm like, "Shit! Oh, I guess the cat's out of the bag now." And that's when I came public with everything about having creative and everything. I mean, if I had not accidentally posted that, I would have kept quiet about it. But
do you feel like the owners are going to not say per se abuse, but take this sort of how do I say a rash decision to give someone op because of something another person did, because we know that for example, Sick gave you op and you've done some stuff with it, and I'll get back to that, but do you think that the owners are going to do that again?
no, not at all. Because when you think about it, you gotta understand, it would have been so easy for me to have leaked the seed, which would have killed like YouTube content on the server. Because when you have the seed, you could do the coordinate exploit, which means like nobody would feel comfortable streaming or recording on AMC. So like, and I even told myself, like, even if I'm gonna have op, I'm not gonna use it for malicious intent. Like, I didn't go around blowing shit up. Like, the only thing I did was spawn myself in items and stuff like that. I tried making unbreakables, but the plugin would cut those even if you were in creative mode. So rip the only chance of there being stacked water on the server, because I had actually planned on bringing stacked milk and stacked water on, but I put unbreakables in the shulker, so it ended up breaking the shulker box. So like,
that actually is a great transition to another topic. The seed. Is it safe? Because I know for a fact, and a lot of people do, that Troll and Morbid have the seed. They had op, and then there's no way in hell that they would have done everything they did, been bored, and got off before they got the seed. So, do you have the seed? And can you?
I was told the seed later on, but me and
told
Troll.
The seed? By who?
Yeah, Troll accidentally showed me a screenshot of the seed, and he's like, "Well, fuck."
You want to disclose that to the podcast?
I told him, like, "Look, I'm not going to do anything with it." I told him, "You better not do anything with it." So, like, me and him have basically agreed that, like, we're going to stay quiet about that, because I don't want to kill the server. I mean, If I was ever going to use the seed, it would be like, oh, somebody's streaming. Well, I want to surprise them on a stream, but I would only do that kind of thing to a friend. I wouldn't like use the seed to go find bases unless like I knew who was there. Because like I have caused people to get so scared that they've blown their own bases up, thinking I was going to grief it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did that on April 1st. Some guy blew up his like 1,000 dub stash.
Yeah, nice joke.
Sick and Twisted made a joke saying like, well, I can fix the seed issue by starting a new map.
Happy
April
Fools.
If he started a new map, I feel like it would fuck the community because the dupe's been patched, and like the dupe was a lot of the reason I feel like a lot of people came to the server, in my opinion.
Do you think, now I personally don't believe this, but do you think that the patching of the dupe with the new updated server, slightly updated, but updated enough to render the dupes useless, or most of them at least, do you think that's going to kill off a lot of the player base because it has in other servers, and a lot of people think it's going to happen in this one?
Unfortunately, so yeah, I feel like it is harming the server. My reasoning behind that is because when I was building stuff, I would actively dupe my materials as I was building, and like Melbana was constantly duping materials because I love grinding for materials, but eventually I get burnt out like hell when these dupes get patched because I enjoy duping, because if I'm too bored to make a build, I can sit there and just like donkey dupe and chunk dupe, and it's fun to dupe because it gives you like that feeling like you're in creative mode, and when you're on an anarchy server, you can get high off that feeling of thinking you have like all this power.
Yeah.
You just gotta know how to use it correctly so you don't like fuck everything up.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of power,
I also forgot to mention there was a few different ways they could have patched the book dupe. Because just for the podcasters to know, we let people sit in the VC with us and just be muted to like listen to our interview. And Six in here right now. I feel like the way that the chunk dupe could have been patched while allowing the donkey dupe to have stayed would have been making a because Random Coder Z is fucking a badass when it comes to making plugins and shit. I'm sure there would have been an easy way for him to have just implemented the book patch without actually without having Sick update paper, because because you can still do the chunk dupe. Like, you can still make books that let you chunk dupe. It just takes a lot longer and a lot more of a strength, painful task. Like, Troll's already found ways to dupe. And,
yeah, no, Blaze, you want to shut up about that?
I tested it the other day, and I was able to dupe some stuff, but
yeah,
I won't go
Blaze,
into
you want
how
to shut
to
up
do
about
that. Yeah, I'm not telling any of you how I'm doing it. Nobody's finding out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, so before you went off on that little tangent with Sick, you mentioned power. So I wanted to go back to it and ask, who do you think is the most powerful on the server right now? Because there's a lot of shift and changes in the last month on AMC, from Troll not getting his op, from Troll not getting his op, and Morbid Rain doing a bunch of stuff that make him look very weak, and overall a lot of changes and shifts in the power and the tides of AMC. Who do you think is going to be the next up and comer? Do you think Imperium's going to come? Do you think Void is going to become better?
I think it's just going to be like a struggle between Don Fuhr and Void, because those are the two like active groups. They're like the only two I can really see playing on here, because Imperium will never come on here. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, and I've noticed something that the Don Fuhr group has a lot of their inactive players have retired, and a lot more active and powerful people like Chantel, yourself, and Honestly, are on.
Void's got more active members, but Don Fuhr's got more but Don Fuhr has less members, but I feel like they're more dedicated than, say, some Void members.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That's a definite. But anyway, so Like I said, do you think there's going to be a definite answer onto who's going to be on top? Yeah, there was a running joke on the temp map that Void was on top, mostly because we had most of the kills and a lot of achievements were done. But do you think that Void is going to be on top, or do you think Don Fior is going to be on top? I want a definite answer.
I I can't give you a definite answer because I feel like they're just going to keep power struggling each other to the point where neither group's going to come up on top. It's just going to be like a Cold War that's constantly going on, like an infinite war, which is a common trend in most video games.
Actually, it's great that you brought that Cold War point up because a lot of people have been talking about a possible 32K items in the server, whether it be from Troll, Morbid, or any other past players coming back and using these incredible weapons. I'm sure that coders will take care of it.
Trust me, those are already patched. Like, you don't understand. Coders probably has a plugin at this point where it scans every chest or inventory on the server and just instantly deletes those because Coders is a crazy Russian hacker without the Russian part, so he's just a crazy fucking hacker at this point. Dude's fucking amazing. Props to him for keeping this shithole of a server running for so long. Same to Sick and 60, and you guys are like,
I'm just gonna stray away from the questions for now, and I'm just gonna give a pat on the back to the owners and the admins to really helping the server grow and helping it stay the way it is, because I know from a little conversation I had with random coders that he quit AMC and the whole jumble in general because he wasn't getting enough recognition for the amount of stuff he does. So I think we should just have a moment to realize how much they do and how much they really mean to people. And please don't leave, coders. Please.
We'll include a straw poll in the description of the video for bringing back the donkey dude. Maybe if it gets enough recognition, Sick will bring it back. I mean, I know if he does, it'll make me building my next big project involving player heads all the more easier.
Well, anyway. Anything else? I think that's the oh wait, no, we have a couple of joke questions from Funny on the Discord.
Before we get to that, I'm thinking before we end this, we can unmute the owners, and if they have any questions they want to ask, we can let them ask those live.
Actually, no, I'm gonna first, before we do that, we're gonna answer a couple, or you're gonna answer a couple questions from people that were kind of jokey. So, coming from Aaron Flores, also known as MRCK10, why are you a tranny?
Well, fuck, this is an interesting one. I have the mentality that I'm trans, but I don't want to go through the fucking hell that is taking hormones and wanting to off myself with a fucking noose every day because the hormones make you feel that way. I feel like I would just get so fucked that I would pull a Morbid and just start blowing shit up if I had to go through that hell.
Also,
but I mean, I get along a lot better, personally, with a lot of my friends who are trans. But if I knew I could go through it and not feel like fucking offing myself with a noose every day from hormones, I think I would definitely go all the way through.
Also, another question from Aaron Flores, also known as MRCK. Thanks for this, Aaron. Why does he smell like a Muslim?
Because he shot Bin Laden and he fucked his wife.
Very nice, very nice. Coming from somebody, King TJ, also known as Jessinator on Discord. What is your favorite color?
My favorite what?
Favorite color.
I'd have to go with blue.
No. I think that came from Kabata. Yeah, no, that came from Kabata. I'm sorry. King TJ had a different question. Kabata asked, what's your favorite color?
To answer Kabita's question, my favorite color is blue. I used to be red, but I started to realize with my personality, blue matched me more.
So, King TJ ask Blaze what he thinks about hentai.
What does Blaze think about hentai?
Yes.
every single day while watching anime. I pull her from my screen, just like in my dreams. I want to feel her touch really on my crotch. That's my only answer to that. If you guys know what those lyrics are from, then you guys really know your shit.
So, do you think we should unmute the owners to see if they have anything to say?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I think we can do this one at a time. So I think we should start with the man himself, who literally puts his fucking money into a server that he doesn't have to fund, but he does. So we're gonna start with Sick and Twisted. Sick and Twisted has been unmuted. He just has to unmute himself on his end if he can even talk.
We'll give him the next maybe 10 seconds.
We could start with random. Maybe he's a little too shy.
Maybe not.
Sick's probably AFK, so I think we can start with random. I'll unmute Code.
Just to our viewers, just note that random is a little camera shy.
Okay, random, you're up. If you're here, I hope you two aren't just giving me the silent treatment to make this an awkward monologue.
No? Okay. Well.
Oh, he's here. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Go. Hey, random.
I'll fucking do this for you.
So, random, how's it going, man?
Yeah, well, I'm alive, at least.
Feel free to ask your questions, because probably Sick's probably AFK right now. Or maybe he's too busy jacking off to some hentai. I mean, we'll never know.
Yeah.
I think it's listening, but...
So, random, I got a question for you, or two.
Ask on.
So I'll leave most of the questions I have for you if you are going to do a podcast if you are going to do a podcast, I will ask the most of the questions there, but I'll just ask a couple right now. What drives you? What drives you to help out the server and really make it something of your own?
We find out that Sick blows him every day for work.
No, but seriously, well, it's fun. Well, I kind of lost what I wanted to say.
It's fun?
Yeah, it's fun. Also, most of the stuff that needs to be doing, 16
yeah,
and
it's just 16 Sick are too incompetent.
yeah, basically. Well, also, I think AMC has a lot of future, so I think I can help a lot with that.
And you really have, and I know that a lot of times you feel like you don't get a recognition, but just know that we all think that you're incredible, and what you do for the server is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No
you
problem.
definitely do a good job, man.
No problem. It comes from everybody. Anyway, so if Sick isn't going to say anything, well, I guess we're gonna. Is 16 in the VC?
I think we can see if Sick's gonna say anything, and if he doesn't say anything, I think we can wrap it up. Unless there's other questions that you have for me.
No, that's it. Unless you want to say anything to the podcast viewership or the server in general.
Well, I guess I can discuss my Mega Map Art project. Basically, any prominent players, I'm gonna put their heads on a map. I'm gonna do them at a size where I can fit multiple heads. There was a map art like this on TV. I'm gonna do something similar with AMC. We'll start with like the owners, and then we'll work our way around. I'll probably do people like King TJ, Cobble Love Falls. Doug Trio is better than London, apparently. I think that's what the meme is.
Yeah. Also, I just have one more question from the community. Before I think we're gonna wrap this up. Aaron Flores asks, why he backdoored the server and did not give Aaron Flores admin like he paid him to.
That'll never happen, Aaron. Sorry. After what all my Australian friends eventually did to me, I don't trust Australians. Sick and Twisted is back. Sick and Twisted, you're unmuted. You just gotta unmute yourself. You can ask me any questions you have. Sick and Twisted is typing. He probably can't be talking. His girlfriend's probably giving him head over
Oh
there.
no, he's on his phone. Alrighty, well, I think that wraps up this day's podcast. So, we thank you for watching. This has been probably the longest podcast episode, and probably for a while.
Wait. You didn't give Sick the chance to ask a question, even if it was typing. Sick, go ahead, ask something, just for the shits and giggles.
Okay, this is gonna have to be fast because I don't want to drag this on.
Typing.
I don't want to have to drag this on. So
Sick and Twisted
switch this
asked,
up.
"Who wants op?" Me, because I totally won't do /stop.
Okay, well, honestly, I think that is gonna wrap this thing up. We thank you for watching the AMC podcast. I've been your host, Super. We've had our guest Blaze Warfare on, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys.